Guys, welcome. Dine at Home week 14. Thank you to everybody who has bought a box. This week we still have 5 to go, so please email Beth Sauce Supper Club to get your box. If you like what you see, then obviously purchase one for this weekend. It's super hot out there, 30 degrees, so I'm wearing a t-shirt, so apologies if you're expecting me in white, but to be honest, it is too hot to wear them. So we're going to go straight through to your Dine at Home box. First of all, for all those newcomers, we have a beautiful milk bread and Marmite butter. As soon as your box arrives, as always guys, make sure you keep this in a dark sort of cool place, but obviously not in the fridge because it was set up too high. And then with your bread, this can go straight into the oven at 180 degrees for about 5 minutes, and that'll be perfect when it comes out. You can save that as well with your first course, because it will go really well with your first course, which we'll move swiftly onto. So you'll have, for 2 people, this is for 1 person, for 2 people you have a slightly taller pot for 2 people. That is your braised beef stock, which is in there. With this one, there's a little bit of sort of almost like fat on top. Do not worry about that. When you reheat the stock, that will obviously emulsify into your dashi, into your consommé, and you'll get a delicious sort of fatty flavour through a consommé as well. So this one is your roasted turnip puree. You also have some salt-baked turnips that have been diced for you as well. We have a very vibrant, beautiful chive oil, and you also have your Wagyu beef ravioli, which we've actually used the sort of brisket and the rib that we've brined for 4 days. We've cooked it for 2 days and then braised it all down, flaked it all down, and then combined it with a nice homemade black bean sauce as well. So super delicious. So guys, straight onto it. I'll show you how to go from start to finish with it. So with your ravioli, as you can see, I've just got a pan of sort of simmering water on. You don't want it to be boiling really, so as you can see, that's quite a hefty sort of boil. The reason why is you don't want to tear the pasta or potentially make it go too soft. So what I'll do is I'll just pop that in. Immediately that will actually stop the pan from boiling because of the coolness of the ravioli. But just keep on tabs with it all the time. You just want it sort of gently simmering away there. It's certainly not boiling at any point either. So I'll turn that right down. There we are, perfect. Okay, so that'll be about 3 to 4 minutes, nothing more. Same with your braised beef stock. That into a pan, and just pop that on the boil at the back as well. That'll be great. And then with your turnip and turnip puree, it's turnip too. With the turnip puree, I would recommend popping that in the microwave for around about 20 seconds. With your turnips, you can have those at room temperature, or if you want to just take the chill off them, you're more than welcome to put those in the microwave for 10-20 seconds as well. Or alternatively, you can actually put it into your stock and reheat it that way. It's totally up to you. Obviously, your chive oil will be at room temperature because that's finishes in the plate. So 2 to 3 minutes on, about 3 minutes actually on the ravioli. So I'll leave that for 3 minutes. The dashi will heat up in time as well. In the meantime, I'll heat these up in the microwave and then join me in 3 minutes, and we'll go through the plating. Okay guys, so it's been 3 minutes. So as you can see, the essence or the consommé at the back is nicely simmering, boiling away. Same with the ravioli, so very gently. If you've got a slotted spoon, that'll be perfect. It has flipped in the cooking, which is not a problem. So very carefully drain that off. And then what I'll actually do is I've got a little J cup here that you can use some kitchen towel, and just to get it the right way, I'll just flip that over very gently, and then that's the presentation side. It's just on there like that. Obviously dash is heated up. What I'll do is, as I did it with the last ravioli that we did, just put some extra virgin olive oil. This is a single estate one. It's absolutely delicious, really quite strong. I just like to finish the ravioli off with the top of that, just add a little bit of richness and sort of next level of sort of quality really. A little bit of seasoning on top, and then same with the pepper as well, because I think pepper and beef go really well together. That goes on top of there. Very carefully, it's really hot last time, so just grab the consommé as well. I've heated the turnip puree, and then you could have heated the turnips as well. So you get a nice sized bowl, and basically start to build. So a little bit of turnip puree in the bottom of the bowl. What's important is when you actually serve this, you don't really want to split the consommé with the turnip puree. So the turnip puree is quite thick, which is nice. So you don't want to sort of make it go murky when you actually present it, which I'll show you now when you know how to do that. So there's the turnip on top. Don't use any seasoning on there because they've been salt baked, so there's enough seasoning with the turnips. And very gently, just grab your ravioli, pop it on top so it completely covers it, just like that. And then what I'll do is I'd recommend to serve this table side in a nice little pot. and that was for one person. I mean, it's you've got absolutely loads of this. It is super strong, so don't go too heavy on it. That poured on top of there. Still got some left over. And then to finish it all off, just to add a little bit of colour because it looks a little bit sort of plain. Just to give it a real spruce of colour. A beautiful bit of flavour as well. Nice bit of chive oil all in the round, different dots on top. That gives it a real spark colour. So there you are, guys. You have your braised Highland Wagyu ravioli, black bean sauce, and spring onions. Underneath is roasted turnip puree with your salt baked turnip, and then your braised beef stock on top. Enjoy, guys. Okay, guys. So onto your main course. Hope you enjoyed your start. That was a real punch of flavour, proper flavour today with that one. So onto your main course. This is pork belly, Woolly Park Farm pork belly. So go for your ingredients as always. You'll get some pork fat carrots. They're individual. Some have got 1, 2, depends on the size. Obviously, this is 1 each on this specific one. Then you have some. This is for one person. Some beautiful braised Savoy cabbage with beautiful seasoned cream. Then your pork sauce, your smoked potato puree, and a beautiful white peach and 5-spice ketchup, which will really sort of cut through the fattiness of the pork. So I'll keep all those out, and I will take this and very carefully take that pan, carrot, and sorry, pork and carrots. Be careful over it's sealed sometimes. It's a little bit close to the carrot. I'll cook both the carrots just because, well, there's pointless chicken also. With the pork fat, it's totally up to you. On the instructions, I didn't say to add the pork fat back in. It's totally up to you because pork's quite fatty. I'm actually going to roast the carrots off with the pork and then a little bit of butter in there. I know it's obviously still fat. It's a bit more of a sort of a cleaner fat than oil. So it's totally up to you guys how you want to play that basically. So pan, as you know with pork belly, you will always leave that off until we come round to cooking. So heat your pan on full now, and then literally put that pork belly in from cold. I've got a really fatty piece here because well, me and Mike really like sort of fatty pork belly. So we're going to use this one. With obviously the skin as always, make sure that you obviously push that down. And what you'll see is it will never stick, as long as it's an non-stick pan, it will never stick because of the amount of fat that will obviously come out of it. So there's no issues there at all. So it starts sizzling and we get that sort of desired sound, that's all good. If you have any that are curling off at the edge, because obviously with how we pressed the pork, it may have been thinner there, so it might be curling off. Don't worry at all. All I would say is when you come to reheat it, a lot of customers have messaged me and said that they don't have a pan that's suitable for the oven. That's absolutely no problem at all. If you do need to transfer the pork onto another tray, and or your pork is slightly curved and the whole entire skin isn't actually in contact with the pan, very simply turn it up, so turn it to the presentation side, so very simply turn it that way and then allow that to reheat, that side to reheat in the oven, okay? Just in case, if you haven't got a tray, if you haven't got a pan that's suitable for the oven, do that, or if it's curved, again, do that as well. Because I reheat it, obviously, when I put it into the oven myself, I leave it that side. But the reason why I do that for the pan is because the pan gets so hot, it's going to continually crispen it underneath. On a cold tray, that's not going to do that. So hopefully I've explained myself, and they've obviously messaged me if you're a little bit confused. I'm more than happy to go through it with you, but I'll explain more as we go on anyway. So as you can hear, there's a few bits, the crackle and the pop is happening on that skin side. The more I press down, the more it seems to sort of crackle and pop as well, which is absolutely great. Pan's nice and hot. Be careful, don't heat the pan too much. Always stay in control of the heat of your pan. And what we'll do is, because the carrots have been cooked in oil, again, just place those in as well. They'll colour up an awful lot quicker because obviously there's oil around those. So I'll cook them a hell of a lot quicker. I'm going to add a little bit of butter to mine, but again, by all means, you can add the pork fat if you would like to. It's totally up to you. And we'll go through the full cook of this. Again, keep flipping it up, keep having a look. You want to you can see the stage now, you can start to see it all flocking, also blistering. You can also feel that it's starting to dry out as well, which is great. Pop that in. Your carrots will colour up almost instantly, as you can see. They're starting to scorch themselves as well. Grab a spoon. Pan's still on full. We're really sort of starting to get a real lick of heat now, so I'm going to knock that down because, as I always say, the residual heat in that pan will be far hotter than the heat coming up, so you haven't got to worry about it. Always stay in control of your pans. So we've got a nice golden colour now, guys. Okay, so we've got a nice golden colour of your pork. The carrots are equally starting to colour up as well. Just colour those sort of 2 or 3 different sides. carefully, and then in about 20 to 30 seconds or so, a little bit of butter, more so for the carrots themselves than the pork itself. Look at that, beautiful. Okay, so I'll add a little bit of butter in there now, only a little bit, 2 or 3 knobs. So I'll put on my ears. Detach from my spoon, so it'd be unfair not to leave that one in. Okay, so as you can see, the carrots have started to nicely colour. They have been seasoned as well. I'm going to turn the pan off completely. We'll have a final look before it goes in the oven of the pork. There we are, beautiful. So pop all that in as it is. I'll pop a little bit of seasoning just on top of the pork there. I'm going to leave that, as I said, skin side down. Okay, so if you are going to transfer it to a tray, very, very simply take it out of the pan, flip it that side up, and then bake it that way. Okay, no problem if not, but obviously if your pan is suitable for the oven, leave it that way because it will crispen up because the pan is so hot. Okay, so into the oven for around about, I'd say 8 minutes in this oven, between 8 and 12 minutes at home at 180 degrees. That should be absolutely fine. Okay, so join me with about a minute to go, and I'll tell you how to reheat all these things in. Okay, guys, see you in a second. Okay, guys, so there's 2 minutes on the timer, there's about a minute and I reckon 20-30 seconds on that. So we're going to go through the garnish with you. I forgot pork scratchings, pork and knee scratchings, so make sure you've got those in your box as well. So peach ketchup, room temperature, smoked potato puree, and cream Savoy cabbage in the microwave. You are more than welcome to heat these up on the stove if you would like to. I personally would recommend to do that in the microwave just before you get everything out. Normally I say to the people who have been obviously with us before, I always say rest your meat. Exactly the same with the pork, I would just allow it to rest very gently for 2 to 3 minutes. I normally say for how long you actually reheated it for. So for instance, in this instance it's 8 minutes, I would reheat it for around about 8 minutes. Let it rest for around about 8 minutes. But again, as I said, for the courtesy of this video, we'll do it quite rapidly. Okay, so they're nice and warm, as you can see by the lids. Very reusable. Okay, so that was 20 seconds obviously in this microwave. This is extremely powerful, so I certainly wouldn't recommend to do that at home. So, cabbage, smoked potato, your pork scratchings, your peach ketchup, and then my sauce is just on the stove as well. Make sure you sort of bring that up, this is obviously for one person, make sure you bring that up to the sort of the boil, or not exactly rapidly boiling, just make sure you come up to like a simmer, and then knock it off. But make sure you don't reduce it, because it will left with no sauce, so that's no good for anybody. So, pork sauce is on, all my garnish is ready, time has just gone off, it couldn't have happened at a better time. So we'll take that out, you can hear it sizzling and popping and crackling. Be very careful obviously if you're having a tray or a pan like me. There we are, beautiful. So what I'll do is I'll just get a little bit of J cloth. It's quite an expensive way of doing this, I wouldn't recommend to do it. It's just to gain, just to rest it and allow just to cloth. It's so soft that is now. It's super hot as well. But what this actually does is it aids that skin from crackling basically. There we are, beautiful. So those carrots are nicely roasted as well. Give those a little roll and then pop those in. Okay, lovely. So crispy on top, you'll start to blend. Simple as that. So give your cabbage a little mix. It might look like it's going to split out. Just give it a nice little. There's quite a lot of cream in there, so give it a nice little mix. It's absolutely gorgeous. That is. Just put that nice spoon of that in there. This is for one person, so you get quite a healthy amount as per usual. Give the spoon now, just reach over for this one. And then we'll give the nice smoked potato a little mix as well. Give us a little nice spoonful of that. Beautiful. Okay, pork belly on, carrot, get the nice roasted one up alongside. Beautiful pork scratchings. Don't be shy with those, get those on, keep it nice and close. And then finally, 5 spice peach ketchup, which you can quite easily pipe if you would like to, but I'm just going to put it as a smaller, because it is quite sharp. It's quite strong as well, the 5 spice is super strong, but everyone knows that 5 spice and pork goes so well together. So there we are, and then just while I get the sauce, loads of sauce as well. Couple that over the pork, over the cabbage, pretty much everywhere. And there we have it, guys. Woolley Park Farm pork belly with some beautiful cream savoy cabbage, smoked potato puree, 5 spice peak ketchup, and your pork fat roasted carrot. Enjoy, guys, please. Okay, guys, so hopefully you enjoyed your main course, another flavour pack. Yeah, hope you enjoyed it. So on to your dessert, guys. Your chocolate indulgent this week. So we have an individual sort of mini, beautiful baked chocolate tart, homemade tart case with your beautiful chocolate filling inside. Then you have a caramelised chocolate mousse. I would suggest to keep this in. We've kept this out for about 15-20 minutes. I'd recommend to get that out just a little bit before you start to maybe on your main course or something. Probably just 5 to 10 minutes is plenty. It's been out for a good sort of 15 minutes now. Actually, it's a little bit soft, but nothing to worry about at all. So as you've seen, I've just put some hot water into a little bowl, and basically just to get a nice cleaner finish on your mousse. I mean, at home you're not going to want to waste any, but here I just want a bit more of a cleaner. I've done it before for you guys, but it just gives it a nice bit of a cleaner sort of finish. And you have a beautiful Jersey milk ice cream, so it's obviously full fat Jersey milk, super delicious. And again, check the consistency of this. This is like really hard because it's been in the freezer continuously. So as I've said in your instructions, just check the firmness of your ice cream. But what we've done this week is we've piped 2 dots. So hopefully it will just sort of, obviously with the 2 dots, you can, if it is really firm, like this one, you can sort of just make sure that you just pick 1 dot out for each. So I'm just going to place that like that because it is super firm. But you'll get the general idea of the dessert, albeit yours should be a hell of a lot neater. And I want to see some pictures. So you have a beautiful dark chocolate tart with a baked chocolate tart with a beautiful caramelised mousse and your Jersey milk ice cream, guys. Super simple, but absolutely delicious. Okay, guys, so hopefully you enjoyed this week's menu. I thought the dessert was so indulgent. I'm a massive chocolate fan. I think it's an incredible way to finish Jersey milk ice cream because it comes through it all, because it's really cold. But I honestly think that's probably one of my most enjoyable menus this week. It's a bit of meat, I think it's super tasty starter, delicious indulgent main, and a really indulgent sort of finish for the dessert. So hopefully you really enjoyed it, guys. Again, we've still got 5 boxes, so if you did enjoy watching and you want to purchase one, Perfect Sauce Super Club will sort you out. We've sold about 20% of our boxes today, so this is Thursday. So thank you so much for getting on the sort of Thursday bandwagon, because that's why we've opened it. So Thursday, we deliver Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday now locally. We've got about 6 boxes going, 6 or 7 boxes going out Sunday as well. So guys, thank you so much for your support as always. Video obviously on YouTube, subscribe, like, etc. Keep tagging in all your photos, all your recreations every week. And yeah, guys, have a fantastic weekend, and we'll see you same time, same place next week for Dine at Home 15. Thank you.